would have fallen in love with some freaking like random 37-year-old while I was 14. And I would have just been like, come on, let's go on a date. Like, I would have
Jeez. The dad's also protecting the men. This is Matara was a dangerous teenager by Tsubasa Indy, I think. Yeah. Something like that.
My hobbies seem to be a kryptonite to women. You say this, but I think we're finally at a really nice space in our online world where, quote unquote, you know, women are getting into men's hobbies, but it's always been like, and I've talked about it, where I grew up next to a card shop and
Honestly, I think that's a good thing. I think it's I think it is a good thing.
I would go in and I would get little cards, and there was a room in the back where people painted and did Warhammer. But alas, I do remember asking my family if I could do it. And again, I cannot judge how my parents raised me, correct? You have to remember, they are from the old country and they are Slavic. But to give you an example, you know, without going too much into it, but at like 12, I was, I had a little, you know, they were maybe closer to 13, but you know, I had a little bit of boobie, you know. I was pretty much my height now, which is very tall. I basically looked and I dressed. I don't understand what happened. Whenever one day I'll get more comfy with showing pictures, I dressed so provocatively for some reason at 13, 14, and it was fine. And my parents just let me do it, right? I think also sometimes maybe I brought clothes in and changed without them realizing, but whatever. So I remember specifically saying that I wanted to go and paint in the back with like where the men were painting and stuff like that. And my father, God bless his soul, I'm not here to judge if what he did with.
Wait, she said they're from the old country, but she could dress provocatively? What? I'm never getting kids? Yeah. That's very understandable. Very understandable. Which means, honestly, I think more and more couples are not having kids. Not just because, like, you know, it's a hassle in the it's honestly hassle the entire life, but also because just like the living, like the economy is just, it's hard to raise multiple kids now. I feel like humanity is going to go extinct from a lack of reproduction rather than nuclear bombs or anything like that. Give me humanity extinction via no reproduction as the bingo.
Correct or
Or
incorrect.
something. I don't know.
But he was like, no, you are not allowed to be in a room with grown men for anything. And I remember I was upset and I was crying. I was like, what do you mean? Like, we're just there for hobby and to play cards and to do stuff. But it was a no. It was absolutely a no. And the thing is, my dad couldn't be in that room with us because he was in a wheelchair. And that store, like, they had stairs. So for him, he's like, I can go into that store. You are not allowed to be in that room painting or doing things there without me, and I can't go there. But I remember I pulled a really big fit, and I was like, what do you mean I'm not allowed? Da, 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 da. I'm a teenager. I can make my own decisions. But, you know, if I was a parent with a 13-year-old of anything, like, yeah, I probably would have been like, no, you can't go out with, like, you know, the worst part about,
yeah,
I do need to
reasonable
say to
dad.
those men, the worst part is I really need y'all to understand that those poor men were probably so sweet, shy, and nerdy, and all they did was paint Warhammer figurines. But I was.
Yeah, I mean, it's more about the better be safe than sorry, you know. I'd say the majority of those guys, let's say all the guys probably were just, you know, decent guys, but you never know. You never know. If there was somebody, there was a predator among them, and he took advantage of you, then, you know, the dad's gonna like, there's no taking that back. You're gonna be traumatized. His dad, or the dad's gonna blame himself. Yeah, it's just better to be safe than sorry.
Was gonna show up there with my low-cut top because I had just grown breasts and I was so goddamn excited to grow breasts. I was gonna show up in a hot pink top with my breasts out because I didn't understand that, like, the way I'm happy about my breasts, everybody else is happy about. I would have been a menace. And then you know what's worse? I'm telling you guys right now, I would have been the creep. I would have fallen in love with some freaking like random 37-year-old while I was 14, and I would have just been like, come on, let's go on a date. Like, I would have.
Jeez, the dad's also protecting the men. Oh my god.
Predator, that would have been me. I would have been the guy. It was me. I was the problem.
My word.
Because I did it, like, I wouldn't have understood, right? Like, you have to remember, I'm like 13 or 14 at this point, right? I'm in a place with, like, I would not have understood. I was just like, in my head, I would have been like, wow, maybe we're in love. I was a crazy teenager. I would have been so bad. You're like, and I know, like, everyone's first reaction, right, is oh my goodness, Matara, you know, your dad was so good. It takes one creepy guy. I'm telling you right now, those men in that store were probably like the shyest, sweetest little nerds, 35 to 45, painting Warhammer, and I would have showed up 13, 14, low cut top, taller than most of them, being like, so what's an appropriate age to lose your virginity?
Oh my god.
He was saving them from me. Rango, I was pretty tall. I was pretty tall in Canada at my big age. Mom,
she's Canadian.
This girl keeps flirting with me. Son, you're 40.
Oh man.
I was the menace. I was the menace. But yeah, so I completely get it, right? With when I was 17, I flirted with my 24-year-old coworker. Right, Bruce? Like, I didn't know any better. I just need y'all to know. Please don't cancel me for the things like I was 13 like 30 years ago, okay? Please don't cancel me for the things I did 30 years.
Wait, what? She was 13 30 years ago? She's 43?
Years ago, my brain wasn't fully developed, but I just didn't know any better. Yeah, I'd be 16 flirting with a 30-year-old because I was like, oh, he's pretty. Maybe he'll fall in love with me. I didn't know any better.
Wait, how old is Matara? I thought she was in her 30s. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Why don't you sub to my channel already? If you made it this far into the video, you want to sub, right? Yeah! Yeah, of course you want to sub. Also, you want to follow me on Twitch, right? Yeah, click the link in the description. You can follow me on Twitch there. Come on, I know you want to. Come on, yeah, you do, yeah. There you go, yeah. Click, yeah, yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you.